There is a moment in every person's life when the weight of pain feels unbearable, when the shadows of struggle wrap themselves so tightly around your heart that you wonder if light will ever find its way back in. But let me tell you this, pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher, a mentor, a sculptor chiseling away the excess to reveal the strength that was always hidden beneath the surface. When you are brought to your knees by hardship, it is not a signal of weakness, it is an invitation to rise in a way you never thought possible. The truth that so many overlook is that pain has within it the seed of transformation. The very moment you feel broken is also the very moment you are being rebuilt, refined, and redefined. What seems like your downfall is often the very furnace where your courage is forged. And though it may sound impossible in the middle of the storm, you will one day look back and realize that your greatest power was born out of your greatest suffering. Think about the people who have left indelible marks on history, not the ones who lived lives of comfort and ease, but the ones who wrestled with despair, who walked through valleys of fire and still found the strength to rise. Nelson Mandela endured decades behind prison walls before he could free not only himself but his entire nation. Helen Keller, blind and deaf, defied every limitation society tried to place on her and became a voice for millions who felt unseen. Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of concentration camps, went on to write about the profound meaning one can find even in suffering. These weren't superhumans. They weren't born immune to pain. They were ordinary people who faced extraordinary struggles and chose to let their suffering carve within them a reservoir of purpose. And you, too, carry that same potential. Within your pain lies the blueprint of your power. Within your scars lies the story that will one day give someone else hope. But here's the thing most people never tell you. Pain doesn't feel purposeful when you're in it. In the heat of the battle, when every door feels locked and every breath feels heavy, you don't see meaning, you see chaos, and that's okay. Transformation isn't about pretending you're not hurting. It's not about denying your tears or masking your struggles. It's about allowing the pain to be real, while also daring to believe that it won't always be this way. The crack in your heart may sting, but it is also the place where the light of strength begins to enter. The hardest nights often give birth to the brightest dawns. And though you may not be able to see it now, every ounce of struggle is aligning you with a version of yourself that is unshakable. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. From the outside it looks as if nothing is happening, but underground, the pressure of the dirt, the weight of the earth, the darkness of the soil, these are not punishments, they are preparation. They are the forces shaping the seed to break open and grow. Without the pressure, without the darkness, the seed would never push roots deep enough to sustain life. You are that seed. Your pain is not meant to bury you, it is meant to plant you, to root you, to ground you so deeply that when you rise unshakable. The soil of struggle is where the roots of resilience are formed. If you've been questioning why you've had to endure so much, why life seems unfair, or why your path feels heavier than others, let this truth anchor you. The weight you carry is not a punishment, it is preparation. Your struggles are molding you into someone who will be strong enough to carry blessings that others couldn't. Your tears are watering the ground for your future breakthroughs. Every setback is not the end of your story, it is the sharpening of your tools. One day you will stand tall, not in spite of your pain, but because of it. The very wounds you wish you could erase will become the very wisdom that empowers others to heal. So when life knocks you down and the world whispers, "You can't," let your pain roll back. Watch me. Stand tall in the face of your storms and remind yourself that you were not built to break, you were built to rise. Every scar is proof that you survived something that was meant to destroy you, and survival itself is a victory. But don't just survive. Thrive. Use the fire of your pain to ignite the passion for your purpose. Use the heaviness of your struggle as the weight that builds your strength. You have already endured more than you thought possible, and yet here you are, breathing, fighting, hoping. That is not weakness, that is power. Your pain is your power because it teaches you empathy. It reminds you what it means to feel deeply, to connect with others in their struggles, and to offer a kind of compassion that only comes from lived experience. Your pain is your power because it forces you to grow, to shed the old versions of yourself that no longer serve you and step into a version of yourself that is resilient, determined, and unshakable. Your pain is your power because it proves to you that no matter what has been thrown at you, you are still standing, and if you are still standing, then your story is far from over. So don't despise your pain. Don't wish it away. Instead, recognize it for what it truly is. The forge where your greatest strength is being shaped. You were not meant to crumble under the weight of your struggles. You were meant to rise from them. When the world sees only scars, let yourself see survival. When others see brokenness, let yourself see rebirth. And when you doubt if you can keep going, remind yourself that every champion was once a contender who refused to surrender to pain. This is not the end of you, it is the awakening of the warrior within you. There comes a point in life when the weight of struggle feels like it was designed to crush you. You wake up each day with the same questions looping in your mind. Why me? Why this? When will it end? And while those questions may sound like weakness, they are not, they are human. The very act of asking shows that you are still fighting, still searching, still refusing to accept that pain is the end of your story. And here's the truth that many overlook. The most painful chapters of your life are often the ones that shape the strongest parts of your character. Struggle is not the thief of your destiny, it is the architect of it. The burdens you carry are chiseling you into someone far more powerful than you realize. Every sleepless night, every tear shed, every door slammed in your face, they are all threads in the tapestry of resilience being woven within you. What feels like breaking is actually building. What feels like punishment is preparation. What feels like an ending is often the birth of something entirely new. Think about fire for a moment. Fire destroys, yes, but it also purifies. It burns away the unnecessary. It refines metal until only strength remains, and it illuminates the path ahead. Your struggles are that fire. They may scorch you, they may leave scars, but they are also burning away the parts of you that no longer serve your future. Pain has a way of teaching lessons comfort never could. It reveals who you truly are, what you're capable of, and what matters most. The truth is, nobody becomes extraordinary by living an easy life. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is strengthened in fire. Heroes are born in adversity. You reading these words are being shaped by the very struggles you wish you didn't have. That breakup that shattered your heart, that failure that crushed your confidence, that betrayal that left you questioning. Trust all of it is molding you into someone wiser, stronger, and more resilient than the person you were before. But here's the critical choice. Will you let your struggles define you, or will you let them refine you? There's a difference. Defining means you stay trapped, chained to your pain, allowing it to dictate how you see yourself. Refining means you rise above it, extracting lessons, strength, and clarity from the very experiences that tried to break you. Every setback you've endured carries a hidden seed of growth, but only you can decide whether to plant it. Many people carry pain like chains, dragging it with them wherever they go. But the ones who find purpose are the ones who break those chains and use the metal to forge a sword of resilience. That sword is sharpened every time you refuse to quit, every time you choose courage over fear, every time you stand back up when life knocks you down. Let's be real. The process isn't glamorous. It's messy. It's filled with nights of questioning yourself, moments of wanting to give up, and seasons where nothing seems to make sense. But struggle is rarely about instant clarity, it's about long-term transformation. Think of a butterfly. Before it takes flight, it must wrestle its way out of the cocoon. That struggle is painful, exhausting, and often looks like suffering without purpose. But here's the truth. Without the struggle, the butterfly's wings would never be strong enough to fly. If someone tried to help by cutting open the cocoon, the butterfly would emerge too weak to live. The very fight for freedom is what gives it the strength to soar. In the same way, your struggles are strengthening you for the very life you were meant to live. They are not obstacles keeping you from your destiny. They are the training ground preparing you for it. And perhaps the most empowering part is this. Your struggles not only shape you, they equip you to shape others. When you survive heartbreak, you become a voice of comfort to those drowning in theirs. When you overcome failure, you become proof that falling doesn't mean the end. When you rise from betrayal, you become a lighthouse for those still lost in the storm. Your pain is not wasted when you use it to heal, inspire, and uplift others. It becomes fuel for impact. It transforms you into a living testimony that says, if I can endure this, so can you. And that is how pain transforms into purpose, by refusing to keep it locked within you, and instead turning it into power that lights the way for others. So the next time you face a struggle that feels unbearable, remind yourself this is not the end of your story. This is the middle of the chapter where the hero is tested, stretched, and refined. You are not weak because you feel pain, you are strong because you keep moving forward in spite of it. Every scar you carry is not a mark of shame, but a badge of survival. Every bruise on your soul is evidence that you have faced storms and are still standing, and standing itself is victory. Do not underestimate the power of resilience, because resilience is the bridge between pain and purpose. It is the decision to rise again, even when your legs are trembling. Your struggles are not random. They are not meaningless. They are shaping you into someone who will live with greater depth, greater compassion, and greater impact. Pain opens your eyes to truths comfort could never reveal. It strips away illusions, it clarifies your priorities, and it ignites a hunger to live fully, authentically, and courageously. When you learn to see your struggles not as barriers but as building blocks, you begin to understand that they are not holding you back, they are pushing you forward. So let your pain become your fuel, let your struggle become your teacher, let your scars become your story, and most importantly, let your resilience become your anthem. You were never meant to live a life untouched by hardship, but you were always meant to rise above it. And when you do, you will discover that the very struggles that once made you question your worth have in fact been the birthplace of your strength. Your journey through pain, struggle, and hardship has never been meaningless. Every battle you fought, every night you cried, every moment you doubted yourself, it all carried a purpose far greater than the suffering you felt. Pain has been your silent teacher, chiseling away weakness, refining your character, and shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined. Struggles were not sent to destroy you. They were sent to awaken you. They were the fire that burned away fear, the storm that tested your foundation, and the weight that built your strength. And now, as you stand here, Scarred but unbroken, you carry within you a truth that cannot be taken away. You are stronger than your pain, greater than your struggles, and destined for more than your suffering ever tried to convince you of. The beauty of turning pain into purpose is not only in what it gives you, but in how it allows you to give back. Your scars become someone else's survival guide. Your strength becomes someone else's hope. Your story becomes proof that no matter how dark life gets, light always returns. So do not hide your pain, transform it. Do not despise your struggle, use it. Let the world see what it looks like to turn wounds into wisdom and obstacles into opportunities. Remember this, pain is temporary, but the strength it creates within you is eternal. You are not defined by what broke you, but by how you rose after the breaking. Carry your scars with pride, because they are not marks of weakness, they are symbols of survival. Stand tall, walk boldly, and let your life declare this truth. Your pain is your power, your struggles are your strength, and your purpose is unstoppable.